Hi there, my name is Mayan Shah with RVMax.us, and today I have this 2012 Newmar Essex 4544. It's a beautiful bus, one owner, it's been very well maintained, and has a lot of very cool features, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today, so let's get started. So let's start talking about this bus from the front. Now this has a one-piece panoramic windshield, and it's in excellent condition. Newmar does a good job of making really tall one-piece windshields. They don't just go wide, they're very tall as well, and I like that it gives you a better idea of what's coming down the road. Now this looks like a star chip, but it was just some feathers. It looks like it's in great shape. I don't see any star chips or cracks in it. Just double checking a few things. Sometimes they can hide, so you have to give them a good look. Now this is equipped with a 12.5 kilowatt Onan quiet diesel generator that is equipped with an auto gen start. So it's a really nice system, allows you a lot of flexibility with what you can do with your generators and your inverter. Now on the face, you've got like a 3M coating here, and it is cracking a little bit here and there, but it's still up here. It's not too bad. It doesn't look brown or dark like you see a lot of times, but there is some like light cracking in 3M film. It is not a fun job to take that 3M coating off. However, when you do, typically it reveals perfect paint if you do it right and if you hire the right people. Now this is of course equipped with side cameras, and I love the fact that they're mounted in the side mirrors, and they have lights in them as well, infrared lighting. So this is a huge thing because the coaches that have side cameras with no infrared lighting are almost useless at night. Unless, of course, you rely on headlights. It's workable, but it's a lot better with the infrared. Now, this has 365 size Michelin tires that are about a year old maximum. So they're a year to younger as far as age goes. So they're pretty much new. They've got a lot of life left in them, but I love the 365 size tire up front. It also has an independent front suspension rated at 20,000 pounds. Now, of course, you've got AccuRide aluminum wheels all around. They look fantastic. And the 4544 is the only model from 2012 that comes with the full wall slide. And this is, of course, a bath and a half coach, but the full wall slide really opens this coach up inside and allows for a lot more space than a 4-slide coach. Now you see these two beautiful Gerard window awnings equipped with a fabric, like an acrylic material, and they are covered in these beautiful shrouds when they're rolled up. Gerard does some of the best jobs as far as window awnings and awnings in general. In my opinion, they're some of the most well-respected in the RV community and also in the Prevost community. Now this is a side-radiated ISX Cummins 500 horsepower, so you may think to yourself, if you look at the specs on a spec sheet, or like if it's advertised, for instance, and it says 500 horsepower, and you say, oh, okay, it's an ISM. Now, the reason this is so cool that it's a 500 ISX, even though the same horsepower output as the ISM, is this comes with 1,650 foot-pound of torque, which is more torque than the ISM, which is what really matters on these heavy coaches. This has a GVWR of about 54 or 52,000 pounds. So the torque is a huge deal as far as these big buses go. Now this, of course, has a 15,000 pound towing capacity and a beautifully styled rear end. It says Essex across it. I love the taillights. It's a pretty timeless rear end as far as I'm concerned. You've got nice LED docking lights up here, so this will really light you up at night, and of course infrared on your camera. Let's go take a peek at the roof real quick, and then we'll come back down and give you a tour of what the passenger side of this bus looks like. This is a one-piece fiberglass roof that has 3 low-profile roof air conditioners that are also heat pumps mounted on the top. Now we have an automatic antenna and satellite dish, 3 fully electric vent fans, and I love the fact that we have not only our wind sensors up here, but the styling of the railings around, because the coach is going to be that tall anyways due to the Dometics, the air conditioner. So why not make it look good with the styling and making it a point to have your backup monitor up in that little wing area on the very back. The seals also look very good. So down the passenger side of the coach, You've got these two massive Gerard awnings. I believe they're about 18 feet apiece, which shades most of the passenger side of the bus. It provides you literally with about double what most coaches that are lower end will provide you with. And I love how they look up there too, the two rails going down, and they have the boxes and the paint matching the other side, so it stays pretty even. Now, as you walk down the side, we're gonna talk about a few things, and one of them being, notice the structureless, or I think they're called structureless windows, which has no frames. That's what it is, it's frameless, that's the word I was looking for. But I love how they look. They're the modern looking windows. You see with the newer coaches having this on, and personally it looks a lot better than the old coaches where you see the big seals. And of course, nothing wrong with that. It's just you would rather have these flush looking pieces of glass. They're tinted, they're safety glass as well. Now right here we have our outside entertainment center. This is a Sony TV. You have the outside speaker system, so you can really entertain with this bus. And being up here, it gives you more space down below. Speaking of which, this has an outdoor freezer, but we'll talk more about that later. This is really nice. That's a large TV for an outdoor TV. Now, all of the awnings on this side, including the entrance awning, are Gerard awnings. And I'm pointing this out because the Gerard entrance awning is bigger than the Oasis entrance awning that you see on other coaches. And this is a more solid step that you see on a higher end coach. The lower end coaches will have the skinny ones, and again, nothing wrong with that, but this is just a much more substantial thing to step on, and it feels a lot nicer when you're walking in the bus. It's one of those small little things. You may not even notice it, but if you're detail oriented like me, I'd certainly notice it. This also is equipped with a doorbell and a keyless entry, which you can unlock the door with and unlock all the compartments with as well, because all the compartments are electric unlock and lock. Let's go talk about the Hadley power system, which is equipped for your air ride. So it controls your air ride. You can automatically level it and do all kinds of cool features and cool things with it. So let's go talk about that. So what we're about to see here is the Hadley go into the lower mode. So this mode will allow you to lower the coach and then drive the coach up to, I believe, 10 miles an hour. It's either 10 or 20 miles an hour. And what this really allows you to do is, if you've got to get under something, you got to drop down the height of the coach, you can easily do that. You just press lower and the whole bus drops down to as low as it can get, and you can actually drive it. So the Hadley system is pretty amazing because not only does it allow you to automatically level the coach with your airbags, which is extremely beneficial in those situations where you can't or don't want to put your hydraulic jacks down, but it also allows you to actually drive the bus in either lower or higher mode. You know, not many other airbag systems can do that, and the Hadley is one of the few out there. The only other bus I've been in that can do that is a Prevost bus. So this gives you a lot more flexibility than you would with a standard air ride system. And on top of that, there's obvious huge benefits on the driving experience as well, because it's constantly auto leveling and keeping you much more stable around corners than a standard air ride system. Let's go check out how it raises itself. So the coach is now in raise mode. So you can see you've got a lot more clearance here than you normally would. Just gonna walk you down the side here. See our tags? Look how far up those tags, the body is off those tags. So this will give you much more clearance. If you've got to get over something, you know, you've got a big speed bump or something in the road that you need to be able to clear, you don't want to scrape your coach on, you can raise it and actually drive it. Again, show me another coach that can do that. That's really impressive. So we're going to start the compartment tour with a driver's side front compartment. And you've got an optional Dometic freezer in here. And this freezer can also be a refrigerator. So it slides out on this tray. This is about $1,700 from the factory. And you've got a lot of space. It's very clean in here. You can set the temperature all the way down to 0 degrees. And check that out. It's got an LED light in there. So at night, if you're camping out here, you're hanging out, watching TV, you know, and you're at the beach at night, you want to open this up and grab maybe an adult beverage or just a Coca-Cola, you've got a nice LED light there lighting it up, and that seems small, but I love that. So it's snapped back in place so it doesn't fly around, and then this drawer locks into place. These drawers are really high quality, well built. Now right here is our first pass-through storage compartment. This thing has a really tall opening here, a lot taller than I've seen in other buses, which I will not name. Now this slides out, full pass-through slide out tray here. So you can see that comes pretty far out, and then it just slides right back into place. Again, this just feels well lubricated and well engineered. It's not like Newmar to put something cheap on their coaches, and these are really high quality. Now over here, we're gonna check out this second pass-through storage compartment, and this was about a $1,900 option. Check this out. If you just wanna show off a little bit while you're camping, you wanna get your bike out, your foldable bike, you just press this button, and it brings it out to you. Now this will do it, it'll do this on both sides. So the other compartment, as you'll see later on, also has a button on it. And get this compartment has a 1,000 pound capacity. And not the compartment itself, but this tray. So you could have 1,000 pounds of weight on this electric tray. So again, we are seeing very high quality materials in all of the detailed areas that you'd want to see. And this is just signature Newmar. We're just gonna elegantly and smoothly slide that back into place. And it seems small, but if your slide out is out here, it's really nice to not have to get under there and unlatch it. You just press the button. So right here, this is the third slide out tray this bus is equipped with, and this one is really wide. Now this is not a completely pass-through storage compartment. It does go about 70% of the way through, but on the other side of that, as we'll see later on in this compartment tour, we have our Oasis hydronic heating system located over there. But I like the fact that that heating system doesn't take up more than half. Like I mentioned, it's about 70%. You still have a storage amount of capacity in here. Now over on the left, we've got the main control hubs for our 2 Gerard Awnings. So if your remote control dies or you lose it or something, you can still operate those awnings with those buttons right there. We've also got 4 power outlets on the left here, and there's more up front that I forgot to mention. Very well equipped and well lit under compartment. We're doing this video at night right now, if you haven't already told. Now right here we have just a little rack where you can have tools. I love the fact that they put this board in here so you can hang your tools and be very organized about it. Because back behind there are all your tanks, so it's really not a usable storage space, but they have made this little piece usable. This is the very last compartment on the passenger side of the bus, and up on the right side of this compartment, we have our 2 chassis side batteries, and on the left we have what's called a service center, or whatever the manufacturer chooses to call it. What they do is they kind of separate their filters off to an area that makes it more easy to service when you get your filters and fluids changed. You also have 2 main cutoffs right there. There's 2 little yellow tabs. Now let's walk around over here and check out this ISX 500. Now it was very intriguing to me when I learned that this was an ISX because, like I mentioned earlier, I read that it was a 500 Cummins, and a 500 Cummins to me is a 10.9 liter ISM, or the M11 from back in the 90s. Now this happens to be the 15 liter ISX, and this produces more torque, even though they're the same horsepower output than the ISM. So this is definitely the engine to have, and I've already driven it a good bit. It feels fantastic. The power delivery is so linear, and later on you're gonna hear me ramble on and not be able to explain myself very well, as always happens in my test drive videos. Because what happens in my test drive videos, for those of you who don't already know, I sort of get infatuated with the bus, and my infatuation sort of blinds my ability to articulate in a way that makes sense, in sort of a cohesive and coherent way. So this is my little moment I'm gonna have here that explains why this feels good. So as we come around the side, this is of course a side radiated bus. This rides on the Spartan K2 chassis. Now I've ranted and raved about the K2 chassis and the K3 chassis for a long time. And what this chassis is what makes it much more stronger than a standard rail chassis is the fact that you've got the tubular steel framework and sort of webbed framework that goes throughout the chassis side. So as you'd imagine, all up to the side, you've got more steel tubular framing. Now what this does is it spreads the stress about, instead of having them on that rail and then the suspension hung off the side, you've got the stress spread out a little more. This is what made the country coach and for travel coach handle so well back in the day, and of course the Prevos are monocoques, but this is what Spartan is doing. It's why most all premier brands use the Spartan. Now there of course are other really fantastic chassis by Freightliner and a couple other chassis manufacturers, but This specific K2 chassis is an excellent chassis, especially with the ISX mounted with that 4000 series Allison transmission. Now let's talk about the wet bay here, or the plumbing bay, however you want to refer to it. A lot of people, I've heard some interesting references to this bay over the years. Now, on the left, you have your Mana Block, and this actually may not be the Mana Block brand. Actually, it's made by another brand, but Mana Block is pretty standard. The Pure Flow is another standard thing that I guess Newmar is using. So what this does is if you have a leak in a specific area, you can cut off the water, hot or cold, to that specific area. You know, you've got shower, kitchen, ice maker. That is really nice. The ice maker, you know, ice makers are notorious in buses for leaking if you don't winterize them correctly. So being able to cut that off without affecting your other water system is a huge plus. You've also got a push-button valve system here. So most coaches have a manual valve, so you can have the auto tank fill. And thankfully, we're going to kind of walk through this real quick. So when you plug into your city pressure and you've got your, you don't want to be able to use either this, which fills your tank, or this, which closes off your tank from being full and allows your pump access to the water tank. This is nice to have it on the push button. You also have the manual valve just in case this auto doesn't work. And I like the fact that they thought that out because you never want to have this fail. You always want to have some kind of backup system, and that is thought of. So you've got the push button convenience with the peace of mind of the manual still being there. The RV SantaCon is located up above. This has both a gray tank rinse and a black tank rinse. This is a huge plus. So up here, having both, that's how you keep your sensors clean and all that. This down here is very organized to me. So you can use your SantaCon, or you don't have to use your SantaCon. You can easily take it off. You've also got a water filter, outdoor shower, and a couple drain points in here, which I'm not going to go into too much detail on. Now this right here is your water hose reel. So all you do is pull this out. You can go up pretty far from it with it. And notice the rollers on all four sides. And to bring it in, you just push the button. That's it. This makes unhooking from RV campsites very, very easy. I also like the fact that they have this instead of just a hole, because this actually seals once you shove it in there, or at least does a better sealing job than just a hole out of the bottom of the bus. I'm going to shut this. Notice how well lit these compartments are, by the way. Now this right here is your 50 amp power cord service. You've also got a surge protection guard on the left. So that serves as an automatic transfer switch as well as the surge protector. You've got your cable to hook up. So if you got a camp spot that has cable, you can easily hook into your coach. Now this is the same idea as the water hose. And I love these type. This is the best type to have right here. The kind that pulls out loosely and manually, not push button, and then push button to bring it back in. Now this is of course up to personal preference, but I prefer it this way. It's just a lot easier. In my opinion, I love it this way. This is the best type to have. I'm gonna reel that guy back in, and we'll go ahead and shut this compartment here. Oh, there we go. Now this is our Oasis Hydronic heating system. This will provide you with unlimited hot water, and it's really fast. So it'll heat up in like 2 or 3 minutes, and you'll have hot water, and you could run your shower all day long, come back to it in the evening, it would still be with giving out hot water. Another benefit to these systems that's not spoken of as often is they're more efficient than the propane systems. The propane systems are really annoying. They burn through a lot of propane, and on top of that, even the tankless ones, and on top of that, it's really annoying to store a bunch of propane on the bus as well as fill up the propane. The hydronic system runs off of diesel, your main tank. All you have to do is whenever you fill up your bus, you're fueling up your Oasis and all the systems. It makes it a lot more simple. Now this right here is our push button electric slide out tray on the other side. So like I mentioned, this can come out on both sides of the coach. By the way, look how clean the carpet is there. There's no stains, no spillage signs, very clean underneath. And we haven't even gotten this under compartments detailed yet. That's how clean it is. This is how it came into our lot. I'm just gonna slide that back in. And again, that has 1,000 pounds capacity. Now this right here is the other slide out tray, and same thing, does the thing. We've got extra tiles here that go with the bus, so if you ever get a cracked tile or something, you got extra tiles. You've also got all the original manuals, and a lot more information than the manuals too. So slide this back in, and that locks into place. Now, these are your 8 deep cycle heavy duty batteries. This is for the coach side of the bus. And these are the type of batteries you want. They're all 6 volts and they look newer than original too. I couldn't find a date on them, to be completely honest with you, but they look good. There's no bulging, there's no oxidation going on, and they're not original too, so that's another good sign. A lot of times, especially from 2012, you can get away with still having original batteries. Now notice how clean, or not clean, but well sealed this compartment is. Some manufacturers have batteries that are exposed to the elements. Not this one. This one's totally sealed off, and this is how you want it, because it's really bad to have your batteries exposed to the elements. I've never understood why manufacturers did that. And they have these extra little safety pins that go into place there. I'm doing all this for you on camera because I'm just demonstrating how easy it is to do this, because that's a factor that's sometimes not considered when you're making a purchase like this. It's how easy it is to operate all these systems. Now this right here is the very front compartment on the the driver's side of the bus. You've got fuses here, mainly for your coach side, like your signals, your side cameras, things like that, so you can quickly and easily check your fuses. You got a little rack here that has a squeegee on it, and look at that, it's got a wrapper on it. Can you see that? It's never been used. Isn't that really cool? 24,000 miles, this has never been used on the bus. Let's talk about the generator now. So up front we have a Cummins Onan 12.5 kilowatt generator. Now this coach is equipped with an AGS system. Now what this AGS system will allow you to do, and it's very easy to use. This is one of the easiest to use AGS systems I've ever seen on a bus. You can set a temperature threshold, you can set a voltage threshold where it will fire up at a specific voltage and then build your batteries up to a specific point and then cut itself off. Or you can do that with a temperature set or a few other variables. Now, I mention this because, like I already mentioned, it's very easy to use. I've already used it. I've never seen such an easy AGS system, and I really should have played with this on the other Newmars we've had over the years. I haven't really played with it up until now. But the 12.5 generator is fantastic. It's bigger than the 10,000 generator you see some buses have. You've also got easy access to your filter. Check it out right there. Very easy to get to. You can get to your headlights very easily. This is some components to do with your Hadley air ride system, windshield wiper fluid. Just the fact that the entire face hydraulically comes out makes it much, much better and much more just enjoyable over time, because if you ever have to get in here real quick to service or check out the hours, by the way, it has about 800 hours on the generator, you just push a button instead of having to crawl up and, guillotine yourself up in there. You're setting yourself up for a guillotine action with the hood. This just comes out and you've got access like this. I think that's going to complete our compartments now. So let's move on to the rest of the video. Welcome to the interior of this Essex. In my opinion, it really looks like a classic Newmar interior. We've got drop-dead gorgeous woodwork with excellent craftsmanship and a lot of time and man hours that have gone into building the woodwork in here. We've got a very beautiful dark gray tile. And in my opinion, it just screams classic Newmar, and this interior has just been well executed. The woodwork is actually a special edition paint color. It's the sandable base, but then there's some special tweaks as far as the background colors in it. So you really won't see an interior like this in any other Essex on the market right now. Now, starting in the living room area here, we've got 2 opposing couches. Now, of course, all of the fabric material in this bus is just in superb condition. I love the fact that we have a J couch right here on the driver's side of the bus. These are really comfortable couches, and they look amazing too, especially with your dinette couch back over there. Now this, of course, has a pull-out mattress from underneath, so you can pull it out, and it should be about a full size. Now notice the gorgeous wood piece back here with your wall lights. You've also got an Alcantara material, and then more wood trim pieces on the top part of the slide out. Newmar is really not afraid of expressing themselves in their woodwork, and this Essex is just showing it off everywhere. The woodwork is everywhere, and so many details we're going to point out as we walk through this bus. Now up here we have our pilot and co-pilot chairs, and notice how wide that co-pilot chair is. Both of these chairs are heated, they're fully electric lumbar, and they're extremely comfortable, especially this one. This is a recliner, an electric recliner. You could pass out very easily in that chair. Now up here we have a Sony TV, and in this compartment right here, we have a lot of the main controls for the bus. So you've got a touchscreen here. There's 2 touchscreens in the bus. You've got one in the front, one in the bedroom. So here you can control your inverters. You can see your DC power, see how your batteries are doing, what kind of charge they're taking. You can see into your genset, so you can see that the AGS is currently running. This, of course, does have an AGS, so what that means, the automatic gen start, right now I have it at a threshold to where if the batteries get low enough, it will start up and charge from 11.6 volts all the way to 12.6. So it'll charge you up and then it'll cut itself off. So what this will do is you can have it set with a temperature. You can have it set with a certain temperature. It'll turn on and turn your air conditioners on, things like that. You can do all kinds of really nice stuff with the AGS. This bus is also equipped with 3-zone heated tiles. So the 3-zone is your main bathroom, your bedroom, and kind of back half of the bus, and then the front living room area, and that's controlled through the 2 touchscreens. So you really can control everything in the bus, your climate, basically everything that's important goes through here, the Oasis system, all of that. You've also got power blackout drapes. All the draping in this bus is electric. You've got all your slide out controls, your security lights, your interior step control, of course your main battery disconnect too for the 12 volt. So basically main system control for most of the coach side stuff is right here. Now as we step over here to the passenger side couch, again, upholstery is perfect. It's really high quality leather. We've got a drawer under here, so there's a little latch, very easy to use. Notice the solid wood cabinetry even in the drawers. Now this is a jackknife as well. All of the lights, or most all of the lights, you can dim. There's a high and low setting. The accent lighting in this bus is beautiful, but check out the woodwork around this passenger side couch. It's absolutely stunning. The gloss is perfect, and all the craftsmanship and intricate detail with the stain work and just the pieces of wood are just stunning. Now in the kitchen area here, we've got a full polished Corian countertop kitchen setup with a very deep, well, that one's kind of shallow, but a very deep second dual sink here. And I love this stainless steel piece right here. Oh, look, we've got the water pump on. And this extends out so you can easily wash pots and pans. And look how snugly these fit back in. To carefully and gently let them in. So the more snug these are, the less they're going to rattle, is essentially what's going on here. And just the right amount is where you want to be. And I think these are judged very well. So this is a really interesting piece right here. This is a full Corian piece. And by the way, look at how it's like a wood grain almost in here. It's a really cool piece of Corian. Beautiful. A little bit of metallic in there. I love it. So this piece actually can fold like that, or you can just completely take it off like this. See that? You have the best of both worlds here. So you can have it quickly set back, or you can have it completely gone. Either one. Now that is a Princess dual burner electric stove. Look at this piece. This really reminds me of a beautiful Prevost bus here, the Liberty Prevost. Gorgeous piece of Corian. Makes this cool little corner piece where you can imagine you have all your spices up here, all that. Notice the gorgeous backsplash, very intricate, very beautiful and unique as well. I love when manufacturers do unique to their manufacturer. You know, I just love that. It makes them stand out in my opinion, and Newmar has knocked it out of the park with this specific coach. Now up here we've got the $1,100 Profile 120 to Advantum. This is a convection microwave oven. It's very large, and these are fantastic. Like I said, this is like $1,200, a great feature. Now down below you have your dishwasher. It's a Fisher and Paykel. And again, the exterior is finished in a beautiful wood so you don't see it. That locks into place as well so it won't fly out going down the road. All kinds of cabinet space. And check this piece out right here. Deep piece of beautifully crafted woodwork here. This is not cheap little flimsy board. It's lightweight, it's real wood. And look at this. Normally I wouldn't point this out, but this is just a huge compartment. I mean, that's absolutely massive. And look at this gorgeous piece up here, this little trim piece of wood. Absolutely, it would take days for you to take all of the intricate woodwork in this bus. Now right here, we have our washer dryer. So this has a washer dryer stack. And that's just hidden. Again, the woodwork is drop dead gorgeous. Now those are both Whirlpools. Now over here on the other side, we have a Whirlpool stainless steel residential refrigerator. Ice maker, you've got filtered water in this. So your freezer is down on the bottom. You've got these slide drawers. And then you have, oh, whoops. Can't see that on camera, I don't think. But you have a large residential style refrigerator. And the condition is gorgeous. There's no dents, there's nothing like that. Over to the left, we have this fantastic pantry area, all real wood, very deep. The slides feel high quality. All the bearings feel great. A lot of pantry space. I love that piece right there. More storage, a lot of storage in this bus. Now right here we have our second living room / kitchen TV. It's a Sony. Again, polished Corian right here. All the same intricate details we saw in the kitchen continued over here in this part of the kitchen with our dinette. Now this dinette can extend, so you just pull it out, and then there's a leaf that goes right there, and there are fold-out chairs, so you can seat more people here if you'd like. But as it is, this is one of my favorite setups as far as dining situation. These are really comfortable. There's a lot of space here between me and the other person, and I can just sit up and rest here. It is a fantastic place to eat. Also, another thing I've noticed in this bus is the windows are extra big. I mean, look, these windows are massive. The view out of it is fantastic and really unmatched. Outside of the Prevos, and really this is kind of comparable to the Prevos as far as windows. There are a lot of windows in here. I've noticed a lot of newer, really high-end buses are sort of lacking on the windows, except for Newmar. Newmar knows how to put a good, large window in here, and they've certainly killed it with this bus. Now let's go step into kind of the back part of the coach. We're going to talk about a few things as we move along. First being the half bathroom. And we're going to get a first glimpse of the rest of the accent stonework in this bus. Look at that backsplash. And look at the woodwork around that mirror. That is all solid wood. It looks fantastic. You also got cabinet space back behind there. You got a Tecma push button toilet. It's a porcelain toilet. Electric shades, all kinds of good lighting. A good sizable, beautiful looking half bath here. The bedroom area in this coach is absolutely amazing. We've got a large king-size bed here, and again, I just can't get over the gray tile and all the colors in this coach. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's just so elegant as well. Newmar has just knocked it out of the park with this. Look at the headboard piece right there. The entire slide-out area here is beautiful. Nice accent piece up on the ceiling with the cool little accent lighting behind it, and this looks like the edge of a nice dining table in a country club. Now over here we have our master bathroom, which we're going to talk about in a second, and it's a very elegant master bathroom. But first we're going to talk about this space over here. I love these two windows. They provide you with a great view out of the coach. You also have this polished Corian piece up here, up above your Sony TV, and then one more touchscreen control for all your systems. Autofill, genset, block heater, the climate, the tile heat, everything. Just as we saw on the front is right here. And you can dim this down too, so if you don't want it bothering you at night. Look at the wood surrounding this. I love that. It makes the technology meet with classic quality materials in a good way. Because nowadays we're seeing a lot of coaches that are just going straight to all the touch screens and crazy technology. But Newmar has not let go of the classic good old craftsmanship that makes a bus a good, well-built bus. Now in the master bathroom here, we've got a beautiful setup with this gray tile. You've got a double vanity here. Look at that piece with the mirror. It looks fantastic. I love all this intricate work up here that's gone into the lighting and the fixtures for the lighting. We've got a large wardrobe in the back with a safe. And this is cedar lined. I love these spaces here for all your shoes, your purses, anything else. All your accessories and clothes can fit in here. And being cedar lined is not only You know, provides you with obvious benefits, but it looks really nice too. Carpeted on the bottom. I've got another Tecma push-button toilet right here. I love the window, and check out this shower. This is a really elegant shower. This is all stone, all Corian. It feels really nice in here. Beautiful backsplash material that we saw in the front is continued in the shower. The stainless steel looks really nice. It's just overall a really classy looking shower. And there's a lot of space in there as well. It's not like one of those curved. You gotta have an actual square, like household style shower. Now, of course, there is a pocket door right here. And again, this is all one level up here. You see a lot of older bath and a half buses where this is multi-leveled in the bathroom. This is all flat surface, so you're not gonna be tripping over anything. And look how large this full wall slide really makes the coach. I mean, you know, normally if you have even a 4-slide coach, this from here all the way up to about here, there's no slide out. So you have a regular sized hallway here. Whereas a full wall slide coach like this one, you really get to have that extra wide hallway here, and it just makes it absolutely massive. I can spread out, I can enjoy myself in this bus. I don't feel tight at all. I've got plenty of space, and every single place I look is just absolutely beautiful. Sorry, my phone's going off. But everywhere you look here, there's a high quality material, there's a high quality, high craftsmanship level substance or some kind of thing that's just been put together very well. I haven't seen a single thing in here that's made me think, that's cheap. Everything is high quality, and everything's functional as well. We're gonna go through the bus before you take it off our lot. It'll be ready to go, ready to camp, ready to use. Let's go move on to another part of the video, and yeah, let's keep moving along. So to start off, taking a peek at this cockpit area, I want to talk about the pilot chair. I mean, the co-pilot chair. The co-pilot has their own air conditioning control here, which is very nice. Map light, and I love this button right here. This button, essentially, when you press it, will cut all the lights off in here. So look at this. And of course, we have the camera light on, but I love that. So if you're driving and you're like, hey, passenger, can you please turn the lights off? They're driving me nuts. Just click a button real quick. You've also got your shade control for the side and visor control for the front. You can unlock and lock all your bay doors. You can turn your stepwell lighting on from here. And look at this Corian piece right here for your cup holder. It's a great piece. All right, let's go talk about the driver area. Look at that wood. I love the steering wheel. And the comfort drive, of course, look. Oh yeah, that's comfort drive. Isn't that cool? So let's talk about the VIP steering wheel. So first of all, we've got a great air horn here. On the left, you've got your cruise control, you can flash your headlights, flash your taillights right here. And this is really interesting. I learned this today. So you can actually control the interval time with this button. So you click a button, you click it once, and then you wait for however long you want the interval to be for, and then you click it again, and then the interval will be that. So it can be up to 30 seconds. So you can have really any interval in between wiper swings that you want. That is a fantastically genius idea. I don't know why I didn't know about this before, but now I do. So that's a really cool button there. Now look at that. We've got 24,576 miles. All the good stuff, voltmeters, DEF fluid, fuel, rear air, front air. Good stuff. I love the fact that we have oil pressure. That's important. Water temperature, also kind of important. Over here, we've got auxiliary fans, the overhead fans here, medium, high, low. I love that control. And we've got the TripTech control, Sirius XM ready, Bluetooth, all that good stuff going on here. Separate monitor for all our cameras. Shade controls, all the visor controls for up here, and there's many electric visors. Entry lock, so you can quickly lock the entry if you want. Your courtesy lights, docking lights, camera select, so you can set any camera you want as the main camera that it stays on. Now to the left, we do have driver memory here. Got heater, the defrost for the mirrors, automatic traction control override. This is the comfort drive control right here. Battery boost, air horn, fog lights, all the good stuff, main stuff going on here. You can dim and brighten all the backlighting. Now this is the 6-speed Allison transmission control. Large electric window over here. Your auto tag dump, you got auto, manual, and then disable, engine brake, high and low. And over here we have our Hadley control. So you can level the bus with this Hadley control. You can also have the ride height set higher or lower and actually drive the bus up to a certain pre-specified speed. So this is one of the few air ride systems where you can actually lower and raise the coach and leave it there while you move the coach. So this gives you a lot of flexibility getting into different garages or getting over things that you're worried about you're going to scrape. Really like that. Now over here is our HWH 4-jack hydraulic leveling system. It's automatic and it's a great system. So you can level with jacks or with your airbag suspension. You have both options in this bus. I also like the cubby hole down in the bottom. A lot of nice little storage spot there. And speaking of storage, we've got more interesting things going on here. So we've got USB and an auxiliary input, so you can plug straight into your system right there. 2 more 12-volt little sockets, storage, more storage right here. Looks like you have an extra unlock, and these cool little Newmar like compass, and that's cool, isn't it? Wow. You can plug into your iPhone. You gotta have to get an adapter. So basic setup there. Now the steering wheel is all electric, so you just push these little tabs. And it seems gimmicky, but this is actually really convenient. When you get out of the coach, you just quickly press that tab, and it becomes like a first world amazing thing to use. You can also control the telescopic view here, your pedals. You can move them back and forth with this little tab. I love the tab system. You see these on a lot of higher end buses, especially the Newmars. All right, I think that's about it for the cockpit area, and we actually did the little co-pilot cockpit area today. Let's go hit the road now. So we're getting on the highway now with this bus, and right off the bat, the comfort drive makes this thing so easy to keep in your lane. It's just, I mean, every time you go to correct, you never overcorrect, you just correct the perfect amount because the comfort drive is just making it so much easier for you to keep this thing in the lanes. And on top of that, this is based off of the superb Spartan K2 chassis. The K2 chassis is legendary. It's one of the most heavy-duty Spartan chassis there is for the bus world, the Class A diesel world. And that ISX 500, which as I mentioned, produces more torque than the ISM 500, gives this thing a huge amount of power. The punch is great because it has this this amazing linear power delivery as you floor it. There's the turbo lag. It's not like the turbo just randomly kicks in and stabs you back. Look at this. It's gonna correct a bit. The driving experience is excellent. No, the highway driving experience is one of the best around. The comfort drive makes it so nice. But one of my favorite things about this thing is turning. Whenever you come to a corner like this, you get to demonstrate the stability of that Hadley system. So the Hadley system, as you're going around a tight corner, it will give increased pressure to the side that needs more support if the weight's being thrown to one side or the other. So the coach stays really stable when you're turning it like this. It stays a lot more stable than an older bus without this Hadley system would normally stay. The stability is excellent from the Hadley system. I can't speak well enough of it. The ability to ride a little, and I just heard it making little adjustments, it's constantly tweaking and making adjustments, so the ride is always perfect. The way it goes over bumps is really fantastic. And again, the way the comfort drive makes this thing feel, it makes it feel like you're flying a magic carpet. There's no other way of putting it. That's just how it feels. With the linear power delivery, it's so smooth. With that 4000 series Allison transmission, it's just butter smooth power delivery. I love this engine. This is one of the best configurations I've had of this ISX. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, it's so smooth. The throttle is perfect. It's judged to perfection. Now there are some rattling. You hear it occasionally when you go over a bump. I think a lot of it's coming from that dishwasher and the convection microwave oven. So some of it could be, it could be worked out. The way it drives is superb. I mean, I can just sit here, it's just keeping itself in its lane. There's 365 size tires up front in a really, really wide track. It's a piece of cake, and it's an absolute dream to drive. And I really want to reiterate the fact about that linear power delivery, because this is something not many people talk about, is how good is the throttle input? How has the manufacturer tuned that best to fit the coach? And for me, this is perfect. It's not really sensitive to where you touch it and it kind of jolts the bus. It's got a really linear power delivery, and it's just easy to keep your foot there right where you want it to be, right at the speed you need. And of course, you have your cruise control here. You can easily set it. And I love the comfort drive. This thing is an absolute blast to drive. The perspective I have here is also very excellent. I feel a little closer to the windshield, and this has a high and low engine brake. We're about to see those capabilities tested right here. But I love seeing the visibility out of the front is excellent. Because this glass is really tall and the dash is low, I love when manufacturers have low dashes. When you have a high dash, it blocks your view. You don't want that. I like sitting kind of low. I'm not sitting too high here, but I can see clearly over the dash. And even if you're looking where you're supposed to be, which is way down the road in a bus, it just gives you a better view out of the front, a much more enjoyable view. You don't feel like you're in a little cage. And that's something we've seen as we've gone through this bus, is excellent viewing, excellent window space. And even this window here is really large too. Of course, we have electric sun visors up here if we need to. I've got all my screens facing towards me. I love the fact that you have a separate screen for your cameras that you do. Then it's separate from your Bluetooth, your radio screen over here. So your cameras are never interrupted by your radio. That's a minor thing, but I love when manufacturers do separate screens. We're just gonna come into here. I have my exhaust brake, and of course when I indicate, it switches over to the relevant camera, because this is of course equipped with side cameras. And you're gonna see, I'm gonna turn this with a finger here. Oh yeah. That's one of the big, like I love, if you ever want to show off in traffic in your bus, you just start driving it like this, right? You just start, you could drive, I could drive all the way to California right now with an index finger. Of course, I'd probably get worn out. My index finger would be pretty worn out, but you could. You could in parking lots. You can turn it with turn it with a pinky in a parking lot. And the big thing is, on the highway, you can control the coach with a pinky. You just sit there. Comfort Drive does most of it for you, keeping you in your lane. And when you do go around corners, the Hadley combined with the steering, and just the way you can feel. When you sit in this driver's seat, sometimes I feel like my test drives are my weak point, because it's hard for me to verbalize and, explain what I'm feeling. But when you sit here, you kind of, in my head, right, whenever I get into a vehicle, I kind of have this sense of a vehicle, the car, the wheelbase. And this thing, I feel the length of it, right? It feels like a big caterpillar to me, just slinking along, a big bus, and I'm kind of at the front of it here. And this coach has a really good feel. I don't know how to really articulate it. It's something you have to drive a bunch of buses and then come into one that's a little different from the others to really understand. But the way it feels, the way it slithers along the ground, and technically speaking, it's probably a combination of many things that contribute to this overall feeling of the test drive and how it drives. But overall, I feel like I'm slithering along the ground, and I feel like I'm sort of on this little cloud. There's like a cloud between me and all the inputs. Anyways, it's an excellent driving bus. The K2 chassis is legendary, and there's really nothing else to say. It's a great driving bus. I love this Comfort Drive. It makes it so easy to get in and out of parking lots. If you've got a crosswind, it helps with that. All right, so we're making a turn. I want to mention to you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in this bus, what we'll do, you call me up, we talk about the coach, I'll answer any questions you have. And by the way, look at this. We're going about 30. I'm going to nail it around this corner. Look at the stability there. Did you see that? I was flooring about 35 miles an hour around a tight corner. We're gonna do it again right here. Now, excuse these roads. These roads here are just awful. But look at this. We're about 32, 33 miles an hour. I'm gonna floor it here in the middle of the corner. Look at the stability that's a good demo. I need to remember that for these Hadley systems. Just go throw it around a corner and you'll see what I'm talking about. The difference between having a Hadley and having no Hadley managing your air ride. Anyways, so if you're really interested in this bus, what we'll do, you call me up, we'll talk about specifics, blah, blah, blah. And then we can FaceTime you, we can Skype you, walk you around this coach again, just in case if you want to. And if not, we do fully refundable deposits. We can help you with financing. We offer warranties, all that good stuff. And one thing is, we never leave, and again, these roads. Look, pan over here. Look, I don't know, I hope you can see it. Turn the light off. Turn the light off. I'm going to slow down. Look at this road here. Isn't this incredible? There's a 4-inch little divot right here. Where it just went over it. A manhole sticking 3 inches out of the ground. Another manhole about 2 inches down into the ground. Oh, and then you want to wait until we get up here? Look at this patch. Look at this. Look at this. The manholes are like man-made potholes, essentially. And I could go on, I could make an entire video, you guys, on just how pissed off I am about the roads in South Carolina. But we're not going to do that. Like I was mentioning, we can help you with financing, warranties, all that good stuff. And we always take care of our customers. Look, I have customers right now I'm still in contact with. I sold coaches like months ago, and I'm still helping them with their bus. We're in touch with our customers. We love to treat people as we would like to be treated. And at the end of the day, we're very passionate about what we do. I've spent basically all of today working on this bus and doing stuff. And my camera person just sneezed for the second time during this video recording. And my blood temperature is increasing right now. Can't even explain it. Anyways, yeah, so we really take care of you and look out for you. And we try to be very honest about what we've got. This is not a perfect coach. It's not a 2021 model. But it is a very nice, low miles, beautiful bus. And I hope this video demonstrated that to you. So, again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out. And feel free to reach out to us if you have any more interest about the bus. Thank you again.